And today, not only is, my guest, she's a boss up babe, but she is the girl on fire. And I'm going to obviously, I'll tell you a little bit about her here in a minute. But I want to just kind of tell you how I met the Woman on Fire. So we are both members of an exclusive group. It's called the 100 Most Powerful Women. It's a mastermind coaching program. And we are bossing up on all kinds of levels, whether it's personal, professional, in our relationships, and our side hustles, all kinds of women in this amazing organization. So shout out to our coaches and mentors right now. But that's how we met, right? Like, I'm a huge believer in collaboration and, getting to know the people that, you're in a circle with, you're in a sphere with. And I truly believe that you are the sum of the five that you hang out with and chill with all the time. So if I can even be somewhat close to Miss Angela Brand, then I feel like I'm doing, A-okay. So with all of that, that's how I know Angela. That's how we met. She has an amazing program out there. She's going to tell us a little bit about that later. But of course, right? Like, we collaborated. We took things out of the group and into our own Zoom room, and we got to know one another. And she shared her amazing idea and vision for helping women like me who want to be like these powerhouse motivational speakers. She's sharing her stage, her platform, her resources. And so I'll be excited to be walking on the fire stage in a couple of months. But with all of that, let me just kind of, give you the brief intro, and I absolutely love it. It says, have you ever heard of the freckled-faced female speaker trailblazer who is taking the speaking industry by storm? Well, you guys, now you have. Angela Brand, also known as the Girl on Fire, helps purpose-driven women speak, write, and coach in her fire by turning her mess into her message to make millions and reach millions. I love that, y'all, because we all have a mess, right? We all feel like our lives sometimes can be a hot mess, and our stories and past can sometimes haunt us. But she's saying she's going to teach us how to turn that hot mess into a message that makes millions and that reaches millions. So I love it, love it, love it. So with over 12 years of experience in developing personal brands, speaking and coaching techniques, Angela trains her clients to remain authentic and transparent, and coaching with a coaching academy for those who have the desire to transform their lives. Oh my gosh, I love it. She literally teaches people, right, speakers, how to walk with confidence and power and passion. And I love that. So not only is she a Master F.I.R.E trainer, which I'm like, ooh, what is this all about? But she is a phenomenal Woman Trailblazer of the Year and recipient of 2018. She's not just read or wrote one book, not two, not three. This woman, I told you, she's a boss up babe. She has written 8 best-selling books, and her mission is to ignite the fire of 1 million women, and she will stop at nothing until it happens. So with that, Angela Brand, welcome to the Boss Up Babe stage.
Hello, Karissa, the boss babe. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. I am honored to be in the space with you guys and to share my story.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You guys, you know that I believe that every woman has a story and a journey, and she's walking, her best life, and she can be walking her best life if she chooses to. So before I kind of get in with your story, which I'm so in, I've heard bits and pieces, of course, but not the full thing. So I'm excited to talk about that. But I like to always start off every episode with a random question of the day. And not only is Tuesday the best day of the week because Boss Up Babes podcast airs, but today is April 12th. It's my birthday. And so with that, I am curious, what was your best birthday year ever? Was there a year that just really stood out to you?
Oh my gosh, I know you're going to hit me with that one, but I would say the year I moved to Charlotte was one of the birthdays. I went to the Billy Graham Library, and I was able to walk through the library, see all of his accomplishments, and see all the places he have been, the people he have helped. And I look, and I was like, I want my own library. That library inspired me. So when you talk about my 8 books, I need a library full of books.
Yeah.
So that was my pivotal moment. It's like, you know what? I need an Angela Brand library. For me, that will make history.
Yeah.
Because when you get into my story, you'll understand why I said that Angela Brand library.
I love that, you guys. Not only, does she have this vision, but Angela and I both believe in the power of creative visualization and imagination and really manifesting our best life. And I bet you walking into that library was it's one of those moments that are just going to skyrocket you into that vision. Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't want to cry already, but yeah, it's like, wow.
Oh, well, I'm so, yeah, that's an amazing birthday year. The first time she, moved to Charlotte, that sounds fun. I bring it up obviously because someone said, Karissa, why are you working today? Isn't it your birthday? I'm like, girl, first off, I'm an Aries. So the entire month of April is like a birthday celebration for me. But I literally just got back from 6 days in Las Vegas. I just received a leadership award from the 2.0 marketing conference. And I was just sitting there like, this is a boss up babe moment. Like, these are moments that I'm like, I am honored. And I was like, what a great birthday to great way to start off my birthday month. So there you have it, you guys. Yeah. Who doesn't want a library full of their books and other amazing, powerhouse people's books? I'll send you a book of mine for sure. And then you can add that to your library once you're in it. Love it. All right. So Angela, let's dive straight into your story. Obviously, you didn't just come out of the womb thinking, I'm a girl on fire and I'm going to change the world. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But I find that most powerhouse babes, right? Most boss up babes have been through some, that nitty gritty that they had to get through in order to find their fire. So tell us a little bit about your story.
So a little bit, a lot of people don't know that I used to pastor for 4.5 years. I was married and, going about my life. And so a lot of things happened. And I got to the point to where the broken little girl was like, Angela, now it's time to stop bleeding while bleeding. You're leading people, you're preaching, you're traveling, but you're still bleeding. You're still looking for daddy. So when I got to that breaking point, and I kept hearing the Lord say, change, change. I'm crying out for change. I'm thinking, okay, I can change. But he was talking about inner change and geographical change. So I closed the church down and I moved to Charlotte. I told God I was never going to speak again. I did not want anything to do with the church. I didn't want to have anything to do with people, any of that. That lasted about 1.5 years, as you say.
God had a different plan.
I remember I was sitting down, I was watching America's Got Talent, and the young girl, Angela, she was singing Girl on Fire. And I just broke down crying. And that was the start of the Girl on Fire, of my fire being ignited. And then purpose started calling me. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And God lit that fire in me. He said, no, you're going to speak. Women need to hear you. Yeah. And that's the story of the Girl on Fire. And here I am.
I love that. So what it was the song that you really resonated with, like I'm on fire, right? We all know that song. Maybe Jacob can play it for us at some point. But was that like, how did you know that was like, how did you know? Well, you know what? Let me back it up really quick. What do you love to speak about? So when you're on stages, what is like your go-to keynote? Like, is it about your transformation on how you found this Girl on Fire? What is it?
It's called Igniting Her Fire. And, I use the acronym for fire and believe to break it down, but I listen to the words of the song. And a lot of people, she say, I'm a lonely girl, living in a lonely world, but I'm going to let it burn. So it's like that. Sometimes I feel like I'm alone, but I know I have time to let it burn.
I love that.
It was the lyrics for me. The gap.
Okay. Yeah. And you know, guys, like music touches the soul. Like it really does. There'll be days that I can hear Rise Up, right? There's so many different songs that like before I go out on stage, I like listen to and they're like, that's not even pump up music. And I'm like, oh my God, but it lights my soul. You know, I'm like, this just speaks to me. So some people can't understand that. So we've got about a minute before we go to break. And I am curious, what has been the biggest struggle when it comes to stepping into that girl on fire? Or the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge for me is letting go of the expectations of what people see me as or what they expect from me as. Although I am the girl on fire, but I'm also an introvert.
Mm-hmm.
To refill, to recharge, to think. And it's not, I'm not obsolete to challenges. I'm not obsolete to what everybody else go through in their business and their personal life. If not, it magnifies it even the more, because when I'm not feeling my best, I still have to show up as the girl on fire. When I don't have it all together, I still have to show up as the girl on fire. So it magnifies how I have to show up. I have to show up with intentions, because the women are expecting to have their fire ignited. Even when my fire is not where it's supposed to be, I still have to show up as the girl on fire.
Ooh, and that brings up a really juicy conversation, because I'm like, how do we muster up the energy? Because I'm in the same, right? Like I help women boss up and become the next level of greatness for them. And I'm like, but there are days that I don't feel like bossing up, and it's like, I don't feel like being the boss up babe and holding all that. So I think that's where we're going to stop right now. We're going to pick that same conversation up. Like, how do you muster up, hit the reset, and become that girl on fire, even when you're not feeling it? So you guys, we're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. And we're going to continue on our conversation and the strategies and the tips to help you unleash that fire within. Stay with us. Hey, you guys, we are back with another amazing guest of mine. Her name is Angela Brand. She's the girl on fire. If you haven't heard of her, go freaking Google her right now, because she's pretty fantastic. She's total boss up babe, in my opinion. And we left off, right? If you missed her story on how she became the girl on fire and like really sparked that with inside of her, go back and listen to the very beginning of this show. It's phenomenal and it's great. And I want to encourage you to go back and really get a feel for who Angela is. But we left off with a juicy conversation, right? We started talking about like, how do you show up as the girl on fire, as the boss up babe, when you're not quite feeling it yourself? Because as coaches, as experts, as influencers, it is important. Like everyone looks to us for that motivation, for the excitement, for the energy when they're not feeling so great. But what happens when we need to like re-spark that fire? So we're going to continue on with that conversation. But first, before we do, I am curious. So obviously we keep saying the word fire, right? And if you're listening to this, you're not like even like really probably thinking about the word fire or F-I-R-E. But what does the word fire mean to you, Angela?
When I hear the word fire, it used to mean all of my struggles, everything I've been through. But I had to redefine that fire.
Yeah.
So when I look at the F means embracing your feminine energy. Mm-hmm. So when I fire, I hear I am feminine. The I is impact. I am impactful. The R is tapping into your riches. I am rich. And the E is being extraordinary. I am extraordinary.
I love that.
I'm the girl on fire. I'm the girl that is feminine. I am the girl that is impactful. I am the girl that is rich. I am the girl that is extraordinary.
Yes. And with that mindset, y'all, you can literally accomplish anything. Right?
Because it covers all areas of your life. And I created the fire blueprint, the fire speaking model, the fire coaching model, the fire just, when I go out and speak and show up, it is interchangeable in all of your areas of your life. So when I'm speaking with fire, I'm speaking from my feminine energy, I'm speaking to impact, I'm speaking with rich content, and I'm speaking with an extraordinary delivery.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. And I remember like being on your webinar and learning all about, the fire stages and what you're doing for women who want to get up and stand up and speak and, share their passion and energy. And I'm just like, man, this girl's got it together. Like, look at this woman, right? I mean, we meet with so many people and we're like, okay, yeah, like it's kind of small, but she's no small cookie. Like, I'm telling you, like she's got her crap nailed down. And I remember one post I saw on like a Facebook page or something like that. And you help people also help find their brand. Is that correct? Yeah.
The Fire Girl brand still stay fire.
Fire, yes. But I was like, oh my God. So like her last name is Brand. How like amazing is this? She helps other women like step up into their power and find their brand, find their, power, unleash that fire within. So I know you kind of talked about the blueprint. Do you want to go into any more in depth of like this specific blueprint? Like, is there something that you can teach us that women who are watching or listening today can really say, okay, like, I want to work with someone like her. I need to work with someone like her. That would definitely obviously help share my story. It will help find my brand. It will help build my business. But is there a strategy or something that you could give us today that would help us start to unleash the fire within us?
Throughout society, we are taught to hustle. We are taught to grind. We are taught, to work hard, to do these things. But those are the characteristics of a masculine energy.
Yeah.
When you're getting to your feminine energy, it's all about being in tune, being intuitive to who you are, your goals, your ideas, and resting and trusting that. So the first thing I would say is understanding that what you have is enough. What you have, everything that you have is already in you. You just need somebody like me or Karissa to help you bring it out. It was in you when you were born. It was in you when God was thinking about creating you. But life situations and the messes that we go through, now we got to go back through the layers. Okay, what did God put in you? He didn't put, you being not smart enough. He didn't put you being not big enough or all these not enough syndromes that we do. He didn't put in you, now you're a single mother, now you're divorced, you can't do this. Purpose was in you when you were created. Yes. Get back to the basics of how God created you before the rape, before the molestation, before the abuse, before the attacks, before all these precepts that we have about ourselves. That's the first thing, is getting back to that and knowing that you are enough. If you're called to be a speaker, you have enough, you know enough. If you're called to be a coach, you have enough, you experienced enough. If you're called to write a book, you know enough to write about it.
Yes. So how can a woman start to let go of the I'm not enough syndrome and really kind of start to step, because that's a process, you guys. If you feel that, that's a deep-seated belief that isn't true, right? She said that, right? God created us to be fantastic human beings. He did not create us coming out, hurt and feeling like we're not enough. But I struggle, I used to struggle with that. I wear a bracelet that still says I'm enough, right? Like every woman does, I think. We love to pack everything in because we think that we're not enough. We people please because we think we have to serve more. We have to give more. But how can a woman, because that's no easy thing to do, is like, okay, I'm just going to start to believe I'm enough. What's the first step for a woman to start doing that?
First step I would say is to get help. Get into the root of why do you feel like you're not enough?
Yeah.
And what have you, or who or what have you compared yourself to?
So good.
For me, it took me getting a coach, digging deep, but it also took me being grateful for how God created me.
Yeah.
In loving and liking me, what I see in the mirror. There's layers to this thing of not feeling enough. You may feel enough to, okay, I wrote a book, but you may not feel enough to hit the stage. Okay, I feel enough to go for a job promotion, but I may not feel enough to be an entrepreneur. So you have to know, where are you at in your not enoughness? But it takes somebody to help bring out the best in you.
Yes.
And the vision of your higher self. And
we can see it sometimes.
Yes,
we're blinded to that. And I see it all the time with my own clients. I mean, totally different realm, but a lot of women who, I'm the same. I used to stuff my face full of food to like numb out this I'm not enough right? Like I just was sad internally. And I was chasing, if you guys have ever heard my, my weight loss story, like I was chasing this number on the scale, thinking that I would be enough when I hit a certain size and a certain look and a certain shape. And newsflash, I didn't. I got down to 12% body fat, and I'm not even a competitor, and that's tiny, right? Like it hurt to sit, Angela. My booty was so bony. I'm like, I lost my great assets in this process, but I was like, I'm still not happy. Like I really did have to dive deep and understand where this was coming from. Cause I really thought that, and a lot of women think that, certain money in their bank account's going to make them feel enough, certain titles, all these things. But yeah, I see that a lot in my own industry where they're like, well, I'm an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, I'm a this, I'm a that. And they wear all these hats and these titles and they pride themselves. I'm like, okay, but why don't you feel like enough to take care of yourself? Right. And they have these huge issues with taking care of themselves.
For me, it went from rejection from my father. So I felt like if my father didn't want me, then maybe I'm not enough. So that's get into those layers. You may need therapy. You may need all those different things. So when I talk about igniting her fire and that feminine energy, the feminine energy comes to heal. Mm-hmm. That's what people don't. It comes to heal.
Yeah.
You on fire if you're not healed.
Right.
That's what the Fire Tour is all about.
Love that. And I know we didn't really get a chance to talk about the Fire Tour really quickly. What is the Fire Tour? If someone's like, what is this? I want to be on it.
Fire Tour is a platform for new, aspiring, and evolving authors, coaches, and speakers to present their package to platform. All the speakers that I've trained, I take them on tour as part of their training, a platform, and their official graduation, and celebrating their hard work and their investment into becoming her. That's the tour. So we have 12 cities. There's so many different cities: Charlotte, Atlanta, Dallas, Myrtle Beach, Baltimore, Virginia, and still talking about adding different cities and coming up for the next year. So that is the Her Fire Tour. That's where I'm on a mission to ignite the fire of 1 million women. So if she can't come to me, I come to her and to it. And
that's so. Where can our peeps, right, our women who are like, I'm kind of interested, or even just want to learn more about you, what's the best place that they can go and just learn about the amazing Angela and her Fire Tour stage?
Well, www.angelabrandenterprise.com. All social media, I am Angela Brand. www.angelabrandenterprise, and I am Angela Brand.
Beautiful. And you're listening to this on the podcast or on YouTube, whichever platform you're on, you guys, that just scroll down below, you'll see her links, Angela's, amazing bio that I didn't even get to read the full thing. She's just like total I told you guys, like, I don't bring anyone who isn't worth interviewing and that doesn't have a story and that doesn't know how to help other women, because that's who I want to serve as well, right? I'm on a global mission to help more women all across the world boss up, get healthy, walk in their confidence, own that feminine power like Angela speaks about. So if you guys are interested seriously in learning more about her, go check her out. She's phenomenal. I just love watching everything that she does. Her freaking stories, like everything from social media, it's on point, right? She is brand all day long.
And also looking for speakers. If you want to speak on the tour, then reach out to me as well.
Yes. And if you guys need like the hookup, like let me know if you can't find her and I'll send you to her, because she is helping make my dreams come true, of course, as a speaker as well. So y'all, I am proud to have helped thousands of women boss up and break free from their health limitations and become unstoppable. So if you are in a place where you need to boss up and get healthier, because I'll be honest, speaking on stage takes energy. It takes passion. It takes confidence. It takes a lot of things that, yes, Angela can teach you, but if you still don't love the body you're in and you want to see something a little bit better, I'd be happy to help you boss up and have that physical transformation, have that mental transformation as well. You guys, I've loved having you on the show. Definitely, if you're listening to this, comment below. What was your biggest takeaway that you're going to take away? And Angela, any final thoughts with the last couple of seconds we have?
I would say, think about how you want to leave your legacy. Do you want to live full or die empty? I don't know about any of you, but I'm leaving my fire legacy that I can teach my daughters, granddaughters, and the next generation before me, is to ignite her fire and live a life a fire.
I love that. Beautifully said. I'm not going to add anything to it because it was so awesome. Rewind that, play it again, play it again, play it again until you believe in it. And with that, Angela, thank you so much. You've been a beautiful guest on the podcast today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to Boss Up Babes with Karissa Adkins, bringing you tangible tips and expert coaching advice to help you boss up and get healthy. Tune in every second and fourth Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com for interviews with industry leaders and powerhouse boss babes that will empower you to take action and live your best life. If you're ready to boss up and work with Karissa in one of her transformative group coaching programs, visit 365
The views expressed on this program are those of the host, guest, and call